Hey, friend, welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Brian Davis, co founder of Spark Rental, and I'm on a journey to reach financial independence with you. Alongside of our members in our co-investing club, we get together, we vet investments together every month, we go in on some of those investments together, and it's fun. We get to bring in lots of outside experts, both in our club and also in our podcast available to the public. So our outside expert today is Zach Lemaster. He's the founder and owner of Rent to Retirement. It's the nation's largest turnkey property seller. And they also do a lot of build to rent. So we wanted to bring Zach in to talk about why has there been so much buzz around build to rent over the last 12 months? Why has that been such a focus for investors? So on that note, Zach, take it away.
Brian, again, thanks so much for having me. Excited to talk about the new construction build to rent industry. Again, we are the nation's leading turnkey investment company, meaning we find the best deals across the country, lease and manage them for you so you can build a diversified portfolio without having to do all the heavy lifting like self-manage from a distance, things like that. It's a great way to be on the more passive spectrum of investing. But one thing we've learned, Brian, over time is that we like new construction properties. I mean, for our own portfolio, for investors, we love doing build to rent properties. And just to be specific, this is mainly properties, residential, single family, and small multifamily in that $200,000 to $400,000 range. They're in growing and emerging markets. But we like new construction because it's just more predictable. We have better upside with higher rent appreciation, home appreciation, especially being in these growth markets. They're more predictable. They attract better quality tenants, less maintenance. Just overall, long term, I think build to rent performs better than, say, 1950s rehabbed house that is historically true of turnkey deals. What the buzz is, I think, around turnkey or around the build to rent space, honestly, I think it's a lot of media hype. Um, but really, I guess what's been interesting for the average, because this has been around for a long time, but what's exciting for the average investor is that build to rent historically has been only accessible to institutional type buyers. These are where builders are building large portfolios and communities where they're selling, to Blackstone or something like this, where they're coming in buying, hundreds or possibly thousands of these houses where really over, I would say, the past about 3 years, there's been more involvement, our company included, where we can bring those deals, those same deals on an individual level to the average investor, where historically that hasn't been super accessible. So I know we're short on time, but that's probably, the evolution we've seen over the past about 2 to 3 years is the average investor having the ability to, operate like an institutional buyer and buy some of these new construction properties with groups like ourselves.
Yeah, no, I love that. And one of the challenges with build to rent on the small scale that you guys are doing, the single family homes, maybe the 2 to 4 unit multifamilies that are still classified as residential, is just making the numbers work as far as construction costs and other costs to get the property to its use and occupancy permit versus the rental yield that it'll generate over time. So I'm just curious, really quickly here, what have you seen in that space? What challenges have you seen, and have you guys gotten around some of those challenges?
Well, the construction industry, for anyone that's aware, it's just been kind of a nightmare over the past 24 months. It's
Well,
like
right, yeah,
it's
exactly.
been, varying costs. Obviously, interest rates have had a huge influence, especially for builders that have construction loans that are due or having to refinance, things like that. I mean, material shortages, labor shortages, variance in inflation, and just variance in material availability and cost. So it's a little dynamic market, but what has allowed us to be sustainable and successful is really focusing on the markets, right? We have a deficit of 7.2 million homes in the US. And so especially in the Southeast. So we mainly focus our build to rent properties in areas like Florida, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas. These are areas where the population is moving. There's still affordability in these areas, and there's a high demand both to buy homes, affordable houses, but affordable places to live. And so even though the construction market has been, it's very volatile and dynamic, we know that if we can consistently build in areas where there's demand, with rental demand and increase in home prices over time, we generally can be successful building our own portfolio and consistently offer predictable returns for our investors that will build a sustainable portfolio over time. So supply and demand, I guess, is what it boils down to.
All right. Well, I love it. And Zach, in 30 seconds or less, how do you help people, and how can listeners connect with you if they want to take you up on that help?
We help people build passive income portfolios and implement creative financing and tax strategies to ultimately achieve financial independence through real estate investing. They can connect with us by reaching out to rentretirement.com. That's rent-to retirement.com to connect with our team, or texting REI to 33777. So I'm sorry, that's REI to 33777 to set up an introductory consultation with one of our investment strategists.
Awesome. Well, Zach, thanks for coming on the show. And guys, if you enjoy these really quick hit episodes that we've been producing, please rate, review the show. Makes a world of difference to us. And we will catch you on the flip side. Wondering how private equity real estate investing works? We get it. A lot of investors are put off by phrases like private equity or real estate syndication, but these completely passive investments are actually a lot easier than buying properties directly, buying properties yourself in your own name. So we offer a free 40-minute class called Hack the Rich, 7 Secrets We've Learned from Private Equity Real Estate. There's not even a sales pitch at the end. We'll show you how to invest in these on your own without any help from us. So go to sparkrental.com/hack to take the free class. And we can't wait to chat about your questions.